In this video, I'm going to share with you how I use Trello as a professional artist to keep me completely organised. Hi, I'm Marion Dutton. Now, whether you are a professional artist or not, I'm pretty certain you're going to get a lot of value from this video. Now, we're all guilty of collecting photographs from holiday or inspiration and then sort of losing them in all the noise, whether that's on our phones or something like that. Now, what Trello does is a wonderful way of collating and collecting all that information. So again, whether you are a professional or a hobbyist, it is really great to have a place to store all the inspiration for future paintings. But if you are a professional artist, whether that's doing commissions or filming and recording videos the way I do for YouTube or for your own platforms, you will find this video invaluable for keeping you completely organised and checking off boxes, and also being able to store all your past events so that you can share these on social media. So without further ado, let me jump to my screen and share with you my Trello board setup and give you some ideas on how you can set up your own Trello board and how you can use it. Okay, so I'm not going to go into signing up for an account, but basically you would just go into Trello sign up and you will find create an account, create a Trello account, and basically click on that. It is completely free to sign up for a Trello account, and you will find this incredible in terms of what you can get for free. So again, use whichever login details that you prefer to sign up for an account, and then once you've done that, I'm not going to go through all that process because obviously I have an account. I've had a Trello account for absolutely years. So I'm going to go into my Trello. Now, before I open all my own boards here, I'm going to create a couple of boards just to give you some ideas. So you can see here I've got one for inspiration and reference photos that I collect. Here I've got a video project manager, and that's for all the videos that I produce for my online academy and for YouTube as well. And then here is like a library, a social media library. Now, I'm not going to go into that just yet. I will in a moment, but if I open those up right at this stage, I'm going to absolutely sort of overwhelm you. So what I want to do is create a brand new board and give you a few ideas first, and then I will share my boards with you. So keep watching and I will share mine. I've been doing this for years. I've actually had a Trello account for around about 8 years. So I'm probably in the last 5 been using it a lot. So of course, mine's very, very full, and it may be just a little overwhelming to begin with. So what I want to do is create a board. I'm going to start initially, and as artists, we collect photographs and things like that. I wanted to start you there, and we'll start with our inspiration board. So I'm going to create a new board. And you can start, give it a title, and we'll call this inspiration. I'm going to put test on there. You choose wherever you want to put this. It does tell you you're only allowed 10 per workspace. I'm never going to use anywhere near that amount, so I'm still using the free version of Trello. So I'm going to create that. And once you've created it, you get given this area. You can actually change your background. And if you click these 3 little dots here, you can change your background. You can use photographs, loads of different photos depending on what you like. For this particular instance, we're just going to go with a nice plain, let's do a nice blue background. So again, you can change this to whatever you want. I want to keep it pretty simple. In fact, that looks a little bold, so let's go with something quite soft. We'll have this one. So you can put just really soft backgrounds in. Let's go with that. We like that one. And once you've got your background how you want it, you're going to be given some lists. Now, the way I set this up is I will have something like Pixabay, Splash, my own photos, and whatever, something maybe paid for images. And again, this is a great way of just storing images so that you can either take them with your phone and get them off your phone, but you've got a place here where you can store them. And once you've done that, once you've got your headings and your titles however you want them, you're going to add your photos. And I will say they do have a mobile app as well, so I save a lot of photographs on my phone and things like that, and you can just upload them into these little lists that you've got set up. Now, I've just stored a few images on my desktop, so I'm just going to quickly show you how these work. So let's say I see an image that I like, give it a title, click on that. And then I'm going to go into attachments. I'm going to go to my computer and I'll go to my desktop. I've got a few images saved on my desktop. These are just random images that I've picked up. I don't know if they're from Trello or whatever. I'm just showing you, giving you a little example. Once I've done that, I've got my image in there in Pixabay. And of course it's all referenced and everything. Let's just add a couple. Another image. Obviously you can give these a title as you see fit. Go into your attachments, onto your computer, and just pick up the photographs. My own photos. How many times do you go on holiday, take a load of photographs on your phone, and you know they all get lost, but there's a couple in there that you might think would make great paintings, but you never get round to finding them. So again, I'm just picking up a few random images off my desktop. Obviously this isn't my own photograph, it's just an example, just to give you an idea. So these are all images that at some point I might get round to painting and that I wanted to store. What I also like about this is you can actually add labels. So if I go into here and create a label, let's say here I'm going to have this one as Pixabay images. And that way then you can always at a glance see where your images are coming from. Let's do this one as Unsplash images. So you can see I've labelled these. Now at this stage you might think, well, what's the point in that? But I actually do move my images from board to board. I have a this inspiration board, and then I move it, I sort of fine tune it and narrow things down. And what's lovely about having these labels on is even when I move it from my inspiration board, I can actually see where the images have come from. I also like to add all the references that I need. So for example, with this one, there is an attachment to go with this that tells me the photographer's details and things like that. So if I change the cover there, you can see it gives me all the information that I need in terms of this particular photograph. So again, these are just examples. Of course, this isn't my own photo. I'm just using this as an example for how you can set an inspiration board up. And again, this can be done from your mobile. So if you're on holiday and you're taking photographs, you can upload those select few that you think might end up making a great painting. So another example I wanted to give you is if you were a commission artist and you wanted to keep information about particular commissions that you may be doing. So I'm going to create a new board, and we can call this commission work, whatever name you want to start with. And here you can see it's already set up to do doing done. You can change that if you want to. So for example, I may change this to client name, doing done, or you may change this to something like deposit received, and any other bits of information, doing and done. So again, you may want to put in here Mr. and Mrs. Smith, Cavalier, King Charles. And once you go into this, you have a lot of information that you can put some description in here, agreements, you can attach files, you can attach agreements, signed documents, anything like this. You can attach, of course, you can attach your photograph that you've agreed on. I'm going to use this one as a little example. So this is my commission for Mr. and Mrs. Smith. And you can put any notes in here. You can add a checklist in here, so things to do. You may say client to sign agreement, deposit received. Again, these are all just examples and ways that you can use agreed on timeline, so on and so forth. And as you check things off, you can be ticking these things so you know exactly where you are with this particular. You can set a deadline, so we'll do that for the 31st of January, and you can set all that in there, all the different things. And if I close that down now, and you can see that you have got all the information that you need. You can see your deadline, you can see what tasks still need doing. Once your deposit's received, you can drag that over and move it into there. So you can see you've got a real lovely workflow. And then once you've doing maybe something along the lines of, let me just close that, and then done, maybe payment received, and so on and so forth, and shipping. And you can just basically move that across as you work through your commission pieces. And then we can have one called done, and then move that into there. So I like to create a social media board as well. So I'm going to give you a little example of that. And again, before I share any of my boards with you, just so you can kind of get an idea of how you can work some of these. So we may have a social media board, and as you can see here, I've got a MazArt library, a social media board. So I collate everything that I'm doing into this. And again, I will come back and show you these just so you can see how I'm using them. But I'm just trying to give you a few ideas on how you can really organize yourself. It's the start of 2023, and there's no better time to get organized. And I absolutely love Trello for keeping me on track and making sure I don't lose where I am with some of the work that I'm doing. So I'm going to create a new board, social media testing board. And again, these are the names I'm giving them, because obviously I'll delete these after this video. And here you can, you can change this to Facebook. You can change this to Instagram, YouTube, whatever you need, okay, to do on that. If, for example, if I go back now And again, just to give you a little idea of how I use my boards, we've now got our new social media testing board. So if I go back to our commission work, and when it's done and I'm able to share it, what I will do is I hover over it until this little pencil comes out. You want to click that, and then I go move. So once it's finished and it's done with and it's really ready for promotion or for sharing on social media, I click move and I change the board, and we're going to change it to social media testing board. Let me just, before I do that, I am going to give this a label just so you can see how that works. Let me click on this. And again, what we'll do is we'll give this one a label, and we'll give it a pink one. And we'll call this commission work. Save that. So you can see that that's got its label on there now. But if I now click the pencil and move to the board, and we're going to change it to our social media board. You can change it to whichever list you want. We'll keep it in Facebook for now. And then it comes off my commission board and it moves to my social media board. And so nothing ever gets lost. You're on top of everything. And if I click into my social media board now, I can see all the tasks were done. So for example, with your inspiration board, you'd be able to see that it was from Unsplash or from Pixabay. And here you can see this is a piece of commission work. So these things these labels are really valuable, and it really is just a case of having a play around. But that's just one way, is to be able to keep your social media, obviously this would be your painting, you wouldn't necessarily be sharing the photograph, this would be you sharing your artwork. And any other pieces of artwork relating to this. So if you've got clips on YouTube, you can go in and attach your YouTube videos. You can attach your links here, anything that you have on Dropbox and things like that. You can basically collect everything under one area. So that's a sort of a brief overview. The best advice I can ever give you with Trello is just go for it. Just open an account and just start adding your information in there. It's just such a great place to store. So what I'm going to do now is very, very quickly give you a brief overview of my own boards. So I'm going to start with the inspiration board. Now again, I've been using it for years, so it's full. If I click on my inspiration board, I have all sorts of information in here. I've got things for YouTube that I see on YouTube that may inspire new video ideas for me. I've got other artists in here that are inspirational as well. It's, again, I will stress, this isn't about copying somebody else's work. This is for inspiration. It's a bit like having your own Pinterest, all things that inspire you, and you can put little things, like I like to put little bits of information, what's inspired me, and things like that. So if this one is my own reference photo, these are photographs from Italy that eventually would become, and I write on them some little notes, you know, my own reference photograph. Something about that photograph really inspires me. I'm sure it would make a lovely loose watercolour at some point. So you can see I've got all these different, this is brainstorming. What I like about this one is just kind of a generic, these are little photographs of magazines that I've took that have just given me a little bit of an idea, and I've put sort of a members gallery, paint it monthly challenges, these different things that inspire me. And again, I will stress, this isn't about copying somebody else's work. This is about what creates inspiration. For example, here I've seen this, and then here I've written flowers, large close-up. So it's given me a little bit of an inspiration to see that picture. That's a possible idea for somewhere down the line for me. I've got my own reference photos again. These are paid for reference photos that I've actually paid for. And again, I've written on them where I've bought them from and all the information where I've paid for them. Obviously, we've got Pixabay. You know, these are loads of different images that I enjoy spending a day just browsing through images, and I want somewhere to store them. Unsplash, Pexels, public domain, Pinterest. And again, I will stress, this isn't about copying or stealing somebody else's ideas. This is about creating something that will give you an inspiration. From there, they get transferred to my video project manager, and I'll very briefly click onto that. These are things that are in process at the moment, filmed but not edited, YouTube ideas, and so on and so forth. The MazArt library is basically everything that's been done and is ready for sharing and resharing, because of course, you know, this is Santa stocking, this is the video that went out at Christmas. Well, next year I shall be promoting that again. So these are just giving you ideas, upcoming releases. You know, I really do sort of put my Trello in overdrive and so on. So again, there's a promotional one here, but I don't really, eventually I would like to actually have somebody who's doing a little bit of this work for me, you know, when I can afford that. And eventually there'll be somebody sharing some of this stuff with me. I have, you know, everything's labelled, as you can see, whether it's a live workshop or so on and so forth. So again, I really do hope that has given you some idea on how you can actually use Trello as an artist to either record commission work or other projects that you're involved in. Like I said, with my video project manager, there are so many parts to a video. So for example, this Christmas live one, and if you go down, you'll see all the preparation that I do. You know, there's loads of and then to close down a project, I have all these different things that I need to close down the project. And then once it's in here and it's been closed down, I will then move that to my social media board. So at the moment, these are still things to do. I need to close these down, but these are all the things that I actually need to do. So hopefully that's given you some ideas on how you can use Trello. What is absolutely amazing is this is all free. And I use it for everything. I just don't know where I would be without Trello. I have it on my desktop here, so I can just pop that up, and anything that I store, rather than just storing them in some random place or on my phone, I will put them onto Trello. And then I can remove them on my phone, knowing that these things are all safe and stored somewhere for when I'm feeling inspired. I really do hope you've got a lot from this video. Like I said, I absolutely adore Trello. I've been using it for years and it's kept me completely organised, whether that's online for the video filming for my academy or for YouTube, or in the past when I've run workshops. I've used Trello to keep me organised and know exactly where I am in my processes. Now, again, my Trello board is on steroids, you know, like I said, I've been using it for years, so don't feel overwhelmed. It takes time to build up something like that. So start small with a few of the ideas that I've set for you, whether that's commission artist or your social media boards or anything like that. But I really do think you will start to utilize this. Remember, you can actually download the app onto your phone as well. I use the app on my phone, and maybe that's a tutorial for another day, but I use the app on my phone all the time. When you take those photographs when you're out and about, those flowers or something like that, rather than just leaving them on my phone where I know they're going to get lost in all that noise, I upload them to Trello and put a little bit of information that might have given me that inspiration at the time of taking the photograph. So again, start small, but just build, you know, your Trello boards up to suit your own personal needs. It is completely free. It's incredible. Now, if you are enjoying these tutorials and you'd like to see more sort of behind the scenes tutorials, do let me know. It is difficult sort of coming up with new ideas. Despite having Trello. So I'm always looking to you guys. This is your channel as much as it is mine. So please do let me know if you enjoy this type of content and if you'd like to see more sort of behind the scenes or how-to videos in terms of the art business rather than just painting tutorials. Please do let me know in the comments. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. That keeps the algorithm happy and lets other people see this video as well. And of course, I always appreciate it. So that's it from me, and I do hope you've enjoyed it, and I look forward to seeing you again in the next video.